Hi, I'm Annette Pasternak, the Stop Skin Picking Coach. Today we're going to address a really important question. This is a crucial question to ask yourself in order to stop picking. The question is, what do I need? And actually, what do I need right now? Even more important. So I know there have been plenty of times when you've been picking and you're like, why am I doing this? Or maybe you have picked and you ask yourself, why did I do that? Why am I doing this? And sometimes those are even just rhetorical questions, like you're literally not even looking for the answer. So the first step is that you have to, when you do ask questions, ask these open-minded questions and then think about it, or at least be still and see if any answers come to you. But even more important than these kind of questions is the question, what do I need? And ideally, you're asking yourself this. Actually important to ask yourself after you're picking as well. But ideally, this is the question that will get you to not start picking. When you address your needs in other healthier ways, the real underlying need, whereas the default is just the picking, right? That's your default behavior anytime you need something. And actually there are a lot of different things that we need that instead we just are feeling the discomfort of the need and we go to pick instead of figuring out or taking a moment to think, what do I really need and what do I need right now? So I'm going to divide these needs into two categories, the physical and the emotional, and they do overlap somewhat in some places, but we're going to start with the physical needs. So what are some physical things that you might need? And you may have already, I think it's important to recognize which ones of these you've noticed already leading to picking instead of fulfilling the need. And that's an important step on the way to getting to where you want to be. I would really take notes from this video and also tell us in the comments, did I miss any of these things that you need? Or which ones that I'm talking about have you recognized in yourself, and which maybe do you need to learn to recognize sooner? So as far as physical needs, we're going to start with eating. Do you just need to eat actually? Are you hungry? So sometimes we delay our eating, we're working or doing whatever, or maybe just haven't eaten enough throughout the day and we get to the point even where we might be hangry. So what you really need is to eat, but a lot of times, you might end up picking first and then after all that, you're like, oh, I need to eat something. Okay, so definitely feeding yourself. Drinking is the same thing. Maybe you just needed a drink of water. I've had several people tell me, if they feel like picking, they're feeling an urge, just drinking a glass of water sometimes is enough to take it away. Or speaking of water, perhaps you need to do sort of what would come after that. You need to pee. A lot of times people actually just need to pee, and instead of that, they end up picking. So, if that's you, just being more aware of that and like having your default more be going to the toilet rather than wherever you might be picking. So for some people that is the toilet, but we'll go over strategies for that in another video. Another super common physical need is just the need to move. Have you been sitting there at your desk or on your couch or whatever for hours at a time? We need to move much more frequently than that. Sometimes the picking is just, your body needing to move. So making sure, at least once an hour, that's kind of the bare minimum, that you're getting up and walking around, maybe doing some stretching, maybe doing some exercises, a little jumping around or squatting or something like that. This might be just what you need. So these are all our basic needs, but another super, super basic need is the need to breathe, and to breathe well. We can breathe really badly, whether it's from our posture, whether it's from stress. We can be breathing just extremely shallowly into our chest. We can be breathing through our mouths. We really need to be breathing through our noses and as slowly as we can. When we're stressed, we're breathing a lot more quickly. This causes so many issues Just read the wonderful book Breath, I think it was Breath rather than Breathe, by James Nestor. And I will link that book below if you're interested. It was so interesting and well done. Okay, so we've gone through like drinking, eating, we haven't gone to sleep yet. Okay, so this is also super common. Maybe you either need a nap if you're just really tired, or you might just need to go to bed. And this is another super common one my clients say is like, oh, they just wanted to stay up a little later, whether it was like the whole day was taken up with working and kids and all that, and like they just didn't feel like they had any time to themselves yet. But really it would have been better to just go to sleep because they just end up picking. So picking also is a way to get time for ourselves. I actually had that also in the emotional section, but this is, sometimes we really just need sleep. So that is important to recognize as well. And I know most of you have picked simply from being too tired or getting a bad night of sleep the night before. Almost everyone has noticed that. So the last thing I have listed under physical needs would be the need for sensation. So, and we vary in the degree of sensory input we need, especially physical sensation. So sometimes it's like you go for the picking because you just need some of that sensory input. It's grounding and that sort of thing. So some options would be dry brushing. I have the little bitty one here, but I'll link a big one in the notes or in the description. So this is a way, it just feels really good. It's grounding, it's calming. This might be what you need. Another thing you can do is kind of just squeezing your skin. So putting deep pressure for at least 7 seconds. That's a good guideline. Move up, you can ground, hold it here. And this is something that's nice. You can do this while you're doing other things as well. I mean, not all other things, but if you're just, say, watching television for sure, or watching this video, I hope you're doing it with me. Okay, so those are some physical things you may need. But very often we go to the picking because there's an emotional need there, right? Maybe we just had a confrontation with someone or something, some situation that made us uncomfortable. That's really common. I'm gonna have to do the other side now too. So I just feel so uneven right now. I mean, I guess I don't have to. Maybe I should practice being uncomfortable. I'm gonna just do a quick one on the other side so I can focus. But first thing as far as emotions to consider is just ask yourself, what is bothering you? If you're just like, this is, of course, where it's like, it's challenging because if this behavior is compulsive for you, you are not stopping to think or consider anything, right? You're just going for it. And as soon as you feel some emotion rise, some negative feeling, some discomfort, you've been going straight to the picking. And so this needs to slow down. We need to practice slowing down. This is going to take a lot of practice from a lot of different areas, in learning to slow down in order to have the time to even ask these questions, let alone give yourself an answer and then go do whatever it is that will meet this need for you. Asking yourself what is bothering you, because a lot of times it's like we just feel vaguely wrong about a situation or something we've been thinking about, and we haven't even pinpointed what is bothering us. Okay, so that's really important, just figuring out how we feel, right? Some of us are not that in tune with specifically how we're feeling. So that is something that will help straight away. And then when you figure out, what is the emotion, you actually can express the emotion, okay? So this is a lot healthier if you express your emotion rather than going to the picking instead. So maybe you need to cry, or maybe you need to express anger in some non-harmful way to yourself or others. It could be just talking to somebody. That's another thing, is talk to somebody perhaps else other than who you're angry at first. You can write about it, and we're not just talking about anger here, but any of the emotions you could talk to somebody about. If you're feeling lonely, or if you're, whatever it is, you can write. That's obviously not directly interacting with anyone else, but sometimes that's what we have in the moment, or something we don't even want to talk to anybody about. Writing it down just helps so much, like just getting it out of you physically in some way. Maybe you need a hug. Maybe you need to ask for a hug, like you've been distancing yourself. Maybe you need to, there are a couple sides of this. Maybe you need to be alone more. A lot of times people end up picking when, they don't want to go somewhere. Either it's, social anxiety, or they just really don't want to go to something. Even, it's not just fear. It's like they just really don't want to do something that either they've committed to do or said they were going to do or whatever. There are times when you just need to be alone. Know that you don't necessarily need any excuse for not going and doing this thing you are going to do. Because a lot of times people will pick to have the excuse. They'll pick and they'll be like, oh, I can't go and show my face now. So just know, like, it's okay. You're allowed to, not go out every night or whatever it is, just, you can take time for yourself. Now, on the other hand, a lot of us are spending too much time by ourselves just from habit or default, or, it's easier for sure, but there are times when we're isolating ourselves too much, and that's a reason why we're picking. And we actually will feel a lot better when we're interacting with people. That could be what you need. You might just need to see people. Okay, what do I need when I thought about this video? These are the things I came up with. Maybe you have other ones. So please write them in the comments below. Let us know any questions you have for me or each other. I know this is really challenging to go from this compulsive, like, I need to pick and do it right now, to slowing your whole body and mind down to the point where you're able to ask yourself, where you have the space to ask yourself what you need and give yourself these other needs, which will help you preempt picking. I know this is not easy. It takes practice, and a coach can sometimes help. So definitely check out my website, stopskinpickingcoach.com. I do individual sessions, and periodically I do group sessions as well. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you in the next video.